Well, breaking right now on Denver 7 News at 5 a.m. Dark clouds over Ukraine today, and that is fitting for the more ominous scene on the ground today after an attack from Russia that began hours ago. The country is waking up to air sirens and ballistic missiles exploding, and the much feared full-scale assault from Russia is happening right now. Certainly a situation the world hasn't seen in decades. And we are following all the news developments this morning, including the U.S. and the European response. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. President Biden will participate in a virtual summit with G7 leaders at around 7 a.m. our time. Our team here has been tracking the latest developments while you were sleeping. Veronica Acosta joins us now from the newsroom. And Veronica, we're already getting reports of casualties in Ukraine.
We are. At least 40 people have been killed so far. That's what we're hearing from the Ukraine, and this is all happening in real time. We're bringing you all of these updates. We are getting our first look at some of that video as well. If we can show that on air, you can see some of those explosions, what's coming out of the Ukraine. You see it there, those big clouds like Brian was mentioning, the fire and the blaze. And in that video, you also see the lights in that dark sky. You see some of that smoke coming through as well from some of those photos in the Ukraine. We're also seeing something different there as well. We're seeing people starting to line up for money at some of those banks, trying to get out whatever they can. We'll have those images coming to you there shortly. Some of that aftermath there. You see that ambulance there, that line at that bank. This is in the Ukraine. We're also seeing a very different picture as well. We're seeing at least 8 people there gathering in a large town square praying. So a very different impact here and a very different response from this country as those attacks start coming in from Russia. And we're going to continue bringing you the latest on here as this all comes into the newsroom. For now, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Certainly a very scary situation across the world today, and hard to imagine what people in Ukraine are going through right now, hearing those air raid sirens and scrambling to flee the major cities. Denver 7 spoke to a woman here with family there. She says she's terrified and working to get in touch with her loved ones.
It's like something out of a horror movie. I mean, it's the worst nightmare scenario. They do have bomb shelters, and she said they're all packed and ready to go if and when they feel they need to. We asked them maybe they could travel to the west, maybe to safety, but I don't know. This is so dire. It's so gruesome. It's so scary.
Colorado lawmakers are also responding to the invasion. Senator Michael Bennet is calling on the U.S. and its allies to punish Russian President Putin for his unprovoked aggression. He's calling for more sanctions and also exploring opportunities to support the Ukrainian resistance. Representative Lauren Boebert, meanwhile, is calling on the Biden administration and Congress to regain our energy independence, and she wants the U.S. to export more of its own clean liquid natural gas to European allies. Boebert says taking these steps will tame inflation and strengthen democracy throughout the world. We'll be updating this story throughout the morning, of course, on air and on our website, thedenverchannel.com, and our Denver 7 mobile app.
Back here at home, it is a Denver 7 Weather Action Day as we take a live look from our camera here at our studios at Spear and Lincoln. There is some new snow on the ground from overnight. Temperatures are going up ever so slightly, though. Lisa has a look at our forecast today.
Yeah, at least they're moving in the right direction, right? We do have some fresh snow out there this morning, and you can see where we had a little wave roll east over the I-25 corridor this morning. So on the east side of town, we are picking up still a little fresh snow, another ½ an inch to maybe an inch early this morning in spots. So some of those totals will be around 3 to 4 inches over the last 36 to 48 hours. Some snow also falling down near the springs, closer to Monument Hill, a little bit snowier there, and the mountains have picked up a lot of it. Now, our wake up forecast, single digits this morning. We're just above 0, so it is chilly, but it's warmer than what we saw yesterday. We're going to be at right around 20 degrees, it looks like, by noon, by lunchtime, and then we're going to hit highs right around 22 to near 25 this afternoon. Teens in the mountains. Skies are going to clear out, though. We are expecting some sunshine, Jason, and a beautiful afternoon We might see a little more snow, though, tomorrow. We'll take a closer look at that Friday forecast coming up.
And some of that snow that you just mentioned, I can see it on some of the cameras, and it is making for a worse drive this morning than in some of the other mornings we've had across 225 out on I-70 out to the east side of town, up along Highway 85 and I-76 out to the northeast. So it is pretty snowy in those areas. And you can see from the other cameras that we have that we still have some very snowy conditions. I-25 up to the north side of town, even here on I-70 through that lowered section where it's been clear the last couple of days, not so here this morning. So it shows you the worst conditions today compared to yesterday. And you can see the drive times reflected with speeds more in the 40s than they were in the 50s over the last couple of days. We've already had several crashes here this morning. Most of them have been cleared off, including I-25 down by Alameda and over here on C-470 by Ken Carroll. So we do have some very slick conditions on and off the highway. Somebody was just reporting to me that it's really snowy across parts of downtown Denver. That's where Christian Lopez is right now, just driving right here along Spear, going up towards Colfax and eventually I-25 and trying to get out to the west side of town. So Christian, what's it like for you driving across downtown?
Yeah, that's right, Jason. We are heading west on Colfax right now. We're headed towards C-470. I'm going to show you what it looks like over here. You can see that the roads are completely covered in snow right now. We're going about 5 miles an hour in an area where normally we'd be going about 30 miles an hour. Other cars around us, they seem to be going at around, 5 to 10 miles an hour as well. We're not seeing a lot of snow coming down right now. We're not having a lot of trouble keeping our windshield clear. You can see pretty clear conditions out here, but the roads are very slick. We've been going very slow. We've had some turns that have been kind of rough, so definitely give yourself some time as you're headed out this morning. We're going to stay out here and continue monitoring these conditions. We're going to get on the highway right now and continue letting you know what to expect as you head out the door tomorrow, or at the door this morning. I'm going to toss it back to you guys in the studio.
All right. Thank you, Christian. Be safe out there. As a reminder, you can keep track of weather conditions anytime by downloading the Denver 7 app. And you can download Denver 7 Plus on your Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and Android TV devices. Investigators with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are helping Westminster's fire department figure out the cause of another home explosion. 8 townhomes along Sheridan Boulevard were destroyed by a fire yesterday afternoon. Investigators say 2 residents and a firefighter had minor injuries. People in nearby homes tell us they could feel the heat from the flames.
It was just a giant plume. The whole sky. And then with the wind, it was coming just this way. So all the ash on the ground and everything, it was just coming straight at us.
Everybody's trying to help each other out, man. Grabbing dogs, moving them out the way, carrying old women down the sidewalk and everything.
Well, Westminster police say the complex hired a construction company to work on water heaters and furnaces, but it's not clear if that somehow caused the explosion. The scene was just 2 miles away from the deadly home explosion on Knox Court on Monday, or rather on Tuesday. Investigators, however, do not believe the incidents are related.
Denver said it will no longer require city employees to be vaccinated against COVID-19. That requirement will end March 5th. It was put into place last fall when COVID cases were surging, but the director of Denver's public health department says the city's COVID positivity rate has dropped below 5%. The health department says those who were fired for not complying will not get their jobs back, citing their career service rules. Federal and state vaccination mandates do remain in effect for workers and people in certain settings, including medical facilities. Meanwhile, the CDC adjusted its vaccine recommendations. It now says some Americans could wait up to 8 weeks before getting their second dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. Before it was 4 weeks. The CDC cites several studies showing the extended time frame might help improve vaccine effectiveness and decrease the slight risk of heart inflammation. Scientists say new metrics to guide COVID-19 restrictions could come tomorrow and will likely include an adjustment to recommendations for mask wearing. Lisa.
Well, it's a chilly morning. I guess, well, cold is more like it. We're in the single digits, but we're at least above 0 at the bus stop early this morning. We're still seeing some light snow and some cloud cover early on. Skies are going to clear, though, so as your kids get home today, right around 20 to about 25 degrees, we'll see a lot of melting with that sunshine and even more this weekend. I'll show you just how warm it's going to get by Saturday coming up.
Going to southwest Colorado, where Highway 550 remains closed here from Uray, where you see right now it looks pretty quiet on Main Street with a lot of snow, but from this point south to basically the Purgatory ski area through Silverton. It's all closed down because of several inches of snow that they're still dealing with trying to clear off the highway. So that includes Red Mountain, Coal Bank, and Mullis Passes, all closed down here this morning just south of Uray.
Investing in high school students, the federal government is providing funding to give teenagers here in Colorado real-world job experience. Plus,
they're so beautiful. They're very pretty.
Yeah, we're going to take you to one of the few warm places across the metro right now, the Butterfly Pavilion. Also, before we head to break, here are some great photos from across Colorado. You can play this live Zen stream on your TV anytime on the free Denver 7 Plus app for Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, or Android.